Alrighty, let's do this. There we go. Hello, my audience. Stream again. Today's actually been a pretty good day so far. I got a chance to talk to Gabriel from Rational Typology, and we just discussed religion. My hair is actually behaving itself today, so that's another plus. My hair has been questionable for about as long as I've been alive. It just has a tendency to not do what I want a whole lot. But today, it's just like deciding to be perfect. So that's great. I just beat a game called Lost Words Beyond the Page for the Switch. And that was a pretty fun game. It involved manipulating the words to make things happen in the environment, which is kind of like a game on the Wii called Typo Man, which I'm pretty sure got ported to the Switch. Dang, that game was perfect for Wii U. Speaking of Wii U, I've been thinking of getting into Xenoblade Chronicles X, but those games are so darn long that I'd need to really, really like it and then like commit to the long-term grind of it. So tomorrow I'm really excited because I'm going to be talking to a friend of mine who's agreed to voice the characters in my novelization of Zero Time Dilemma. And then the day after that, oh wow, that's going to be quite a day. I'm going to be hanging out with my friend Teresa, and then we're going to go to the swimming pool for starters, and then we're probably just going to hang out for a bit. And then we're going to go to GameStop, and we're going to go to my best friend's game night. And it sounds like a lot, but usually for me, like when I'm in a one-on-one setting, I do a whole lot better than if I'm in a big group. So that's something I look forward to as well, because Teresa's coming all the way from the other side of the state where I live just to come see me, and I think that's really cool. I forgot to get some water, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some water so that I don't stain my throat, and then I'll be right back. Alrighty. Oh, JP. Good to see you again. You actually going to be able to stick around this time? How's your day been going so far? I was actually talking to Furum Industries the other day, and I guess you can do it too if you want to, but he's going to do this like pseudo collab on my channel where he takes a look at a lot of my gaming reviews and just clips out parts of the video that are like funny or meme worthy. Super exhausted. What's been going on that's made you so tired? Is it like school or something? I know for me, I just have trouble sleeping in general, so I'm usually not too much of an afternoon person, but today I had more energy than usual, so I thought, might as well stream in the afternoon. Why not? Oh, I forgot to tell you guys another bit of big news. So I'm sure I told you guys in the last stream that I finally got a chance to talk to my friend Monica on the phone, and this is the first time that we've ever had spoken since we met, which was all the way back in 2010. So we had a follow-up conversation, and I said, you know, Monica, you're one of the only people that I still keep in touch with from all the 8 mission trips I've done. And so she said, well, don't you want to talk to the girl that was with me when we came and sat by you? And I said, yeah, I'd love to. It's just that she's been ignoring a lot of my messages. And she said, oh, I don't think she's ignoring you on purpose. I think she's just not much of a Facebooker. So she's going to try to get me in contact with someone that I don't think I've even type spoken to since probably 2011. So about 10 years. I haven't heard her voice since we met either, so that'll be great. Oh, that's a shame that you have respiratory illness. I know for me, I have really bad allergies, so trying to breathe when I'm having a stuffy nose is it's something else. I imagine I don't have it nearly as bad as you do, but I guess my lungs go out to you. I would say my heart, but if my heart went out to you, then I would die, and I don't really want that. So well, but then again, if my lungs went out to you, then that would die. So I guess my hand goes out to you in a sympathetic gesture, if I want to be politically correct. Yeah, so I'm just really amazed that the few people that I have spoken to or kept in contact with from the mission trips have been really great. And of course that includes you too, but we still haven't like spoken since the trip. And I don't know, like I think there's this unspoken rule at CHWC, and during that rule, the people have this mindset of, it's a one-time thing, and then after that, we'll just get back to our normal lives. That's never how I treated it. Well, except for the one in 2015, that was just atrocious. But every other year, I've always said, I want to learn from these trips, and I want to take what I've learned and apply it to other people, which also includes whatchamacallit. I just forgot what I was going to say. Which also includes the people that I met. Like, I don't want to just ignore people that I met. Like, in some cases, there's kind of an exception. Like, I know in the later years of Mission Trip, I kind of made a bit of a, how do I word this? The older I've gotten, the younger teenagers seem to look to me. I don't know why, because I feel like I haven't changed a bit since my second mission trip as far as like major proportions of my body. I think I might have gained like 10 pounds, but that's about it. And I don't know, like when I first went on mission trips, I was relatively their age, but now it's like, that's so far away. So I would always make a habit of saying, if you want to follow me, you can use my YouTube channel, but otherwise, I don't want to risk getting in trouble, because there are creeps out there that treat teenagers really poorly, and I don't want to be mislabeled as one of them. So I guess in a manner of speaking, sometimes I kind of treat it like a one-time deal, though I definitely hope that some people at least will check out the YouTube channel, because everything there is public. Well, that's good that you have an optimistic attitude towards getting over your ailment. Yeah, that's why I'm really excited to go. Well, it's not confirmed, but my sister and I really want to go to Comic-Con together. And at Comic-Con, I've been told that people there are insanely polite and really, really easy to talk to, which is great because I feel like I'd be probably overwhelmed at first. But then, say if I saw someone cosplaying as Rumpelstiltskin, I'd probably be insanely excited to get my picture taken with them. And also, just after this pandemic, it made me realize that I was taking a lot of the conferences I did for granted. So now that things have sort of returned back to normal, sort of, this can be like a replacement of those conferences. Admittedly, it's not godly, like it's not a Catholic conference like the other ones were, but it's at the very least a major, big event with a lot of people that share the same interests. So I might not be a comic book nerd, but I'd like to think I'm still nerdy enough. I mean, for crying out loud, look at this t-shirt. Like, I'm pretty sure that constitutes some kind of nerd. And by the way, just in case you're wondering, I actually really do like The Wind Waker. I think it's a fantastic Zelda game that has an unfortunate reputation because of its art style and its sailing. Thankfully, I got to replay it on the Wii U recently, where that has the faster sail. And so that ended up making the game feel far less tedious, and I had a lot of fun. If it came to the Switch, I'd probably rent it instead of buying it, because it's like, I might as well just play it on the Wii U if I really want to replay it. One thing I will say about Wind Waker is I do not like this art style. I've never liked this design of Link. I appreciate how expressive he is. And I appreciate how many different facial expressions and eye movements that he has, but I don't know. The cell shaded art style has never really been my jive. Like, I don't like how disproportionate it is. I don't like how they seem to try to get away from semi-realistic character designs and just said, anything goes. We'll just throw a dart at the names board and see what sticks. Hey, Adam, welcome back. I see you're nice and excited today. I hope you're not just here because of the t-shirt, because Toon Link may be awesome, but he's also a fictional character. How have you been lately? According to JP, you guys were having this really bad lung problem lately. So I don't know if you heard this, Adam, but I recently... Oh, it was your favorite? That's cool. Yeah, Breath of the Wild is still my favorite, but unfortunately I don't have a Breath of the Wild t-shirt. I do have a Breath of the Wild box right behind me. I have several Breath of the Wild amiibos. This journal is Breath of the Wild themed. Don't worry, I haven't written much in it that you guys would think is private. All I've really written is I've documented the spirits in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, so that's about it. And then there's, I have a pen somewhere. It seems to have fallen off the desk that has like Breath of the Wild characters, and I also have this pin set, which I'm not going to use because I'm afraid of needles. Then we have these decals of the champions, which I'm not sure how I'm going to use these either. And then we have this lunchbox and this water jug. So, yeah, that is my favorite game. So, Adam, I don't know if you heard this, but I was telling JP earlier that I finally got a chance to talk to my buddy Monica again. She's the one that helped change my life on my very first mission trip. And it was really unfortunate that because we live in opposite states, since meeting, we have never been able to talk with our voices to each other until now. And when I said, like, Monica, you're one of the very, very, very few people that I still talk to from mission trips, she said, well, Paul, why don't you talk to the other girl that was with me when we came to sit next to you? And I said, oh, I'd love to. It's just that she's been ignoring my Facebook messages. And then Monica responded, she hasn't been ignoring you. She's just not much of a Facebooker. So I'll see if I can get you two in touch. So I'll have yet another person that I haven't spoken to in 11 years. Also, Adam, I was talking to Furum Industries, and he was saying, well, it was my idea, but I mean, he agreed to it, so it must be a group effort. He was saying that he's gonna like binge some of my video game reviews, and he's gonna clip them and try to make like a compilation of my greatest moments. Because I don't know, I think it would be really cool to see like the fan perspective of my jokes. Because a lot of times over the years, I've had to like clip my own videos and say like, oh, that line was pretty funny. But I'd like to see what my audience thinks. Because I think that's one thing that's channel is my humor. Like a lot of people talk about how much they enjoy my perspective on things, but they don't often talk about my jokes, which is something that I try really, whoa, that looks awful. There we go. Which I try really hard to land my humor, but at the end of the day, humor is subjective. And so I guess in that respect, I've kind of limited my audience. But hopefully my audience will, how do I word this? Hopefully my audience will find a whole bunch of different things to like. So just curious, are you guys going to like Comic-Con or any big events lately, or are you still like kind of low key, like trying to bounce back from the pandemic? Because I'd be really curious. Oh, there is no game review? Oh yeah, that was so much fun to make. I know I was trying super hard to tell you not to play that game, but that's actually a fantastic game, and it's definitely going to be among my top 10 games of 2021 for sure. Unless I don't know, unless Nintendo does a real major release in the span of like 4 months, which I doubt it. Oh yeah, that's right. You got to recover first. That's true. Yeah, I forgot about that. But I definitely hope you guys are able to like at the very least in 2022 feel like you're going back to normal, because I feel like at least here where I live, it's kind of like most people have gone back to normal, but then there's ever so often there are people that like will wear masks and it's fine, but they tend to be in the minority. Hey, Jevil, welcome back. Yes, I was so excited to hear the news, and then I was unexcited to find out that there wasn't a Switch version announced. So I might have to just ask my best friend to buy it for me, because he has a Steam account and I don't. A wilderness trip. Well, you certainly can't argue with that, COVID or otherwise, because the mask mandate never was outside. So I'm excited about that. Oh, I just realized the irony. Jevil, you of all people, excited for Deltarune, because Deltarune, oh man, that's so meta. I love it. Well, if I know Toby, he tends to take his sweet time getting the Switch releases for things. Like Undertale came out in 2015, and then and it came to the Switch in 2018. At least with Deltarune, it was a little bit better. The original version came out in 2018, and then the Switch came out, or the Switch version of Deltarune came out in 2019. I don't know why it took a whole year just to optimize it, because it didn't seem like a PC game. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he had to adjust it to a control stick. Then again, I assume that it won't take as long this time because he said that he had a bigger studio. So we'll see. I always call him Jevil. It's up to him if he wants to be called something else. But that's what I always say. You're going to wait for the Switch version when your name practically screams, gotta get it on launch day. Like you don't have a Steam account or anything. I had a Steam account, and then I gave it to my friend Nick because I couldn't think of anything that I wanted on it. In retrospect, I kind of wish that I had it back, because now that Deltarune Chapter 2 is out, that's really unfortunate. It's also unfortunate that for you it's tomorrow, Jevil, but for me it's only in 4 hours. that it's coming out. So, JP and Adam, do you guys know what Deltarune is? Because I don't want to be blabbing about something that I don't know about and make you guys feel left out. All I know is the chapter 1 came out in 2019, and chapter 2 is finally coming out 2 years later. So I guess if you can relate to something that you liked being segmented and the segments were years apart, then you could probably relate to why this is a huge deal. So Deltarune is actually an anagram of Undertale. So Undertale itself was, well, I don't want to say too much because it's the kind of game that you should go in as blind as possible. It's a game that looks like it's an old school PC game. And when you're in battles, you have the option of tackling how you want to battle the enemies. And depending on how you battle it will give you 3 different broad endings. But then there's like little choices you can do that affect like tiny little things in each of the endings. I think you would really like Undertale at the very least, because that game well, it was given to the Pope as a copy, so that should tell you how much morality is in it. Hey there, Zoe! We've just been talking about Deltarune, Chapter 2 finally coming out. I know you're not much of a gamer, but I think if, say, you had a favorite TV series and you had to wait 2 years between seasons, that's like how exciting this is for those of us that like Deltarune. I was also explaining that it's like an alternate reality version of Undertale. And then I was also, I think I told you this the last time we were on the phone, Zoe, but I finally I have an opportunity to talk to one of my other mission trip buddies in person. And so generally speaking, my life is going pretty good. What about you? What's been going on with you? Yeah, I know. I was in a bit of a funk the past couple of weeks, but then a lot of stuff just seemed to accelerate. I don't think that's something you need to think. I'm pretty sure Toby just outright said that, Jevil. Huh. Well, it's a good thing I named this streaming for a bit, because if you just want to stop by and say hi and get a couple of things off your chest, then that's a good thing to do while you're waiting for class. Yeah, I did know that, Jevil. That's really cool. And then Chris is an anagram of risk, which is 1 letter off from frisk. And then Susie, I've heard, is an anagram of issue. Gotta love. Oh, this is Toon Link from The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. And, I mean, Wind Waker's not my favorite Zelda game. I think if I were to list all the Zelda games that I like the most, it would be Breath of the Wild, Twilight Princess, A Link Between Worlds. Yeah, I might have to say no, I think I like Majora's Mask a little bit better than maybe Wind Waker. So it's in my top 5 Zelda games, but I definitely think that the main reason why I have this t-shirt is not because I like the art style, but because I like the game that he's from. I would love that too, Jevil. I would really love that. Did you see the Sans' Nest theory that Game Theory did? Because that was wild. Yeah, I would like to personally think that I have the greatest t-shirt collection in the world. And the reason why I'm so confident in saying that is not just because my friends have given me some cool t-shirts that relate to my passions, but also because I've held on to a lot of the t-shirts from the trips that I've gone on, like mission trips and conferences. And a lot of those shirts were like limited print things where you could only get them for that time period. So my Epic shirt, for example, that you guys have seen over and over again, well, That Epic shirt is no longer possible to obtain. So I was so grateful that I bought it when I did. And that's why I say I have the greatest t-shirt collection in the world, because not only do I have cool t-shirts, but I have shirts that forever immortalize the moments in my life that my life was changed. And I think pretty much anyone would love to like be able to literally wear what changed their heart on their sleeves. So it's like a going even further than heart on their sleeves. Hey, Furim Industries, I was just talking about you when we were at the start of the stream. I was saying that I was so excited that you were gonna try to clip some of my greatest moments in my reviews and like make a Paulism compilation to prevent me from needing to do it, because I don't know. People say that, yes, I'll be immortalized. People say that you shouldn't laugh at your own jokes, and that's something I do all the time. So I figure if someone else does it, then it should be a lot better. So today is a really happy day for a lot of us, because for at least me and Jevil, I can't really speak for like anyone else, but we're really excited because Deltarune Chapter 2 is finally coming out. And if you're not interested in Deltarune, that's one thing, but I think you can at least understand where we're coming from on a basis of excitement, because Chapter 1 of the game came out in 2019, 2018, if you're playing it on the PC, and the second chapter only just, well, according to my clock, it's coming out in 4 hours. So that was an insanely long wait, and the creator's just like, thanks for the wait, guys. Here you go. So have you ever had to wait that long for something that you like? Omnisia? Oh, you mean letting it live on forever. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I was shocked, but I also think it was inevitable. Yeah. Yeah, what Jevil just said is the truth. That's how long it's been. You seem to know more about Deltarune than that. That's interesting. Sorry, guys. I'm a total nerd for the Deltarune and Undertale universes, because Undertale is such a game about choice and free will that I actually did 2 Catholic reviews on it. So it's actually helped me to become a better person by playing Undertale. And that's why knowing that it's pseudo sequel / alternate universe game is a big deal for me. But then again, why am I apologizing for being excited on my own streams? That's why you guys watch these, I presume, is you like seeing me excited. Because I often have to call my friends or text them if I'm excited about something. And here on the stream, I can do it to you guys. So what are you guys excited about? Don't let me blab the whole time. Like, is there something coming out in any media? Books, movies, TV shows, video games? Is there something coming out that you're super insanely excited about? Never played Warhammer, but I think there was, no, I'm thinking of Warframe. I heard that was one of the last Wii U games that came out. Yup, thank you indeed, Jevil. Oh, I totally forgot about Metroid Dread, which is funny because Nintendo's been advertising it like crazy. I'm actually not the biggest Metroid fan because I found that the games were a bit too hard for me, but I'm going to consider trying the Switch version because they might have accessibility options for people like me that are more of a newcomer to Metroidvanias. I've actually only beaten 2 Metroidvanias, and that's the 2 Ori games, and that's it. Are any of you excited for Season 2 of Loki? Because my sister and I finished Season 1, and she had mixed feelings about it. Make some bows with logs? What do you mean by that? What do you get excited about, Zoe? Just curious. Like, do you get excited about future prospects, about discoveries in philosophy? Like, it's hard for me to imagine being excited about too much besides like conferences and um, game announcements. Yes, that'll be so exciting, Joel. Oh, that kind of bows. Oh, that's cool. So you guys actually know how to do archery? Get excited about people. That's fascinating. Can you tell me more about that? I Yeah, I guess I get excited about people too. Like obviously I'm excited to see all of you guys here, and I mean that. I'm not just saying that to make you feel better. I am legitimately excited that my fan club is here. But also like yes, I get excited about seeing friends. Like I'm going to be seeing my friend Teresa 2 days from now, and she came all the way from the other side of the state just to see me. Toby did say the other chapters would cost money, but I don't think he confirmed the price. Well, I guess where I'm from, I only have to wait 4 hours to find out. How long is it for you, Jebel? Yeah, I kind of agree with you, JP. Like, yes, my sister and I were excited for the future of Marvel, but we also thought Endgame was such a perfect ending. Why does it have to continue? Twanged? Hmm. Yeah, I'll have to like actually see a picture of the bow you're talking about when you're done, because I'm having trouble visualizing what you guys are trying to say here. Because when I think of bows and arrows, and then I also think of like the bows that girls put in their hair. Well, Toby said that you don't need to play through chapter 1 to enjoy chapter 2, as long as you have a general knowledge of what happened in that chapter. Although he did announce that save data can carry over, so uh, I imagine the reason why he said that is because you can, whatchamacallit, maybe you can carry over the reward for beating Jevil. By the way, guys, if you're wondering why Time Jester Jevil is named that, it's because there's a secret boss in that game named Jevil. And if you zoom in on this Jevil's profile picture, that's actually a picture of the Jevil in the game. Hickory flat bows. Dang, it's so cool that you know how to do carpentry, because I can't draw to save my life. Like, if you guys were to see some of my journal entries, you'd probably be shocked at how bad of an artist I am. But then a lot of my more sympathetic friends, to try to make me feel better, they'll say, well, Paul, you may not be good at drawing with your hands, but you're a wordsmith and you create worlds in your novels, so that's how you're an artist. I just haven't published any of my novels because I don't want people getting the wrong idea about what I believe, because, well, to put it simply, there are asexual characters, but I wasn't intending that to be like a commentary on like asexuality or anti-marriage. It was meant, because this was way before like the LGBT reunion, or not reunion, revolution happened. I just thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I made a race of beings that's so far removed from humans that they didn't even have a gender, like they were just like completely asexual beings. But then after the LGBT revolution, I thought, that could be taken totally the wrong way. So I think I'll just save it for my friends that understand that I'm not really the type of guy that likes to promote political agendas. I'm just writing because I think it's cool. Well, I haven't even watched the teaser trailer, Jevil, so as hyped as I am, I do want to be as surprised as possible. I saw a clip of one of the cities, and I think I saw like two characters walking towards a door, and that's all I want to know. I want to be totally surprised. Yeah, and I think people would think that I'm like trying too hard to assert my views. And admittedly, I do have some Catholic stuff in there, but I purposely made it so that it wasn't 100% accurate to Catholicism, just because I got the impression that it would make the fantasy more boring if I tried too hard to make it an allegory. I wanted it to be an enjoyable read first and foremost, before it was a lesson in theology. So that's why certain things, if you were to read it, you'd be like, wait a minute, Paul, that doesn't match up with Catholicism. It's not supposed to be a one-to-one match. It's supposed to be similar enough so that you can come to your own conclusions. They did a playthrough of chapter 2? That's cool. Yeah, I'm probably going to either have to wait for the Switch version to come out or for my best friend to download it, because I don't have my Steam account anymore. I gave it to my friend Nick. So, man, it's so weird to think that I don't have any major things to look forward to as far as conferences anymore. Like, ever since 2007, I've always been in this state of being where I'm constantly saying, let's see what's going on next. So it could be, I don't know, like I'd say, I'm chaperoning this conference next year. I'm going on this mission trip. But everything is so uncertain right now, and it's just a really weird feeling. Let's see. Musket Boys? Sometimes it's fun to see what your brain can come up with for him. Yeah. Well, hopefully this time Toby won't take as long. Well, it's... My sister and I might be going to Comic-Con, but we haven't confirmed it yet. And I don't consider... Okay, let me define what I mean by trip. I mean specifically an opportunity where I can either chaperone or talk about my faith with someone. I consider Comic-Con to be more of an excursion, which I guess they technically mean the same thing. But I would say that when I say various trips in my videos, I'm specifically referring to the stuff that has been related to my faith. So this will be the first conference I've probably ever been to that's not explicitly Christian. Here. 7 chapters? Oh, I hope not. We've been waiting so long, I kind of want the series to be over pretty soon. Oh, D&D. Yeah, I've never played D&D. Someone will have to teach me one of these days. Making my own mission trip. That's a cool idea. I just don't know how to do it. Someone will have to teach me how to do it. I have tried to recreate Four Corners before, though. For those of you that don't know, Four Corners is activity on each mission trip where the adults would have plastic candles and they'd like sit on the floor in a darkened room. And then if the teenagers had like things that they were going through, or if they had like things they wanted to be prayed over or talked about, they could come to the adults and say like, hey, this is what I'm going through. Do you either have advice or could you pray for me? Now, they knew that we weren't trained professionals. So it was more so of just like being supportive. And I think whether you're religious or not, you can at least somewhat understand that concept of like, oh, thank you for being there for me. And that was the whole point of it. So I've tried to recreate that, and it just doesn't work for me because nothing can beat that first time experience. A skeleton artificer wielding a .45 Magnum? I don't even know what that is, but it sounds cool just because he used fancy words. I wish I could wing it. But the thing about winging it is when you generally have a rough idea of what to do, I am totally clueless where to even start. Oh, so you think Toby will have someone else working on the Switch version of Chapter 2. That's probably a good idea, Devil. Although personally, I think Toby did an adequate job. But yeah, if someone can do it better, that'd be cool. So yeah, where would I even start with making my own mission trip? I guess I'd have to figure out if there's people in the community that need help. But of that's only like half of what made Catholic Heart so great. The other half was being able to go into the cafeteria after a long day of work and then say like, "Oh, what have you guys been doing?" And then like after all of that, then we'd go into the program area and we'd do something really fun. Like we'd listen to music. We had Eucharistic adoration. We had Four Corners. You know, we had all this great stuff so that you were constantly on a feeling of high. Well, if you take, oh, alrighty then, JP. Thanks for sticking around for as long as you did. Enjoy, enjoy taking them to class. I actually did that on my second mission trip for RIM. Did you quote that directly from my video, or were you just making suggestions? Because that is legitimately what I did. I did trim bushes. So it would be one thing to just go out into the community and work. But that's not how Catholic Heart Work Camp is in its entirety. That's only a very, very, very small part of it. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention the free day. How would I do the free day? Like every Friday is when we go out and do something fun, which I never particularly liked. I wanted the free day to be first. So, I don't know. But it's a good idea, Zoe. Very good idea that's going to need a lot of thought behind it. Well, hopefully those bushes and their souls will go to heaven. Yeah, Jevil actually did have a little bit of voice acting in Deltarune. Yeah, that's one way of wording it, Zoe. I just gotta... Oh, you mean like I can do that at Comic-Con? Hey, that's not a bad idea. Well, we'll see if it comes up. I might be too busy geeking out about the various fandoms there to think too hard about the faith, but I'll probably have this necklace. And knowing the people at Comic-Con, they'll probably think that it's the Deathly Hallows logo. Because if you look closely enough, it kind of does look like the symbol of the Deathly Hallows. So that very well could be how they misinterpret it. Yeah, I guess we should have realized that Toby's language is very much the jokestery variety. But hey, he got finished with it right around the time that I thought. Where and when is Comic-Con? Depends on what state you live in. So I don't want to say where it is for me because I'd rather keep what state I live in relatively private. I mean, you know in the Discord message I sent you, but I don't want you to broadcast it on this stream here. But I will have to. My sister and I will probably have to drive for about an hour to get there. But each state has like different convention centers, and so I don't know. I guess you'll just have to look up like where it is where you live and see if there's a place nearby. From what I've heard, it's actually pretty cheap to get in. Like I think my sister said it's only going to cost us $30 a piece. But it costs more if no, don't silence Furim. It's very entertaining. Very, very entertaining. I would like to see Jevil get more lines. I would agree with that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so what was really unfortunate was that a friend of mine, the same friend that I'm going to be hanging out with this Saturday, is going to a version of Comic-Con that was at the same building where they held the conference that I chaperoned. But my sister doesn't want to do that because that particular area where I live is notorious for, well, not being the greatest place. And her being a girl, you know, she wants to protect herself as much as possible. So we're going to go to the one that's in a bit of a safer area, and we're going to stick to each other like glue the whole time because I'm an overprotective big brother. What can I say? Whew, man. Yeah, you don't need save data. Toby said what matters is that you remember what happened in chapter 1, and then you'll be fine. Almost in his exact words, too. You know, that's one thing I really like about you guys, is that we're able to just so easily bounce between topics. It helps everyone. Who, me? Um, more sore. Sometimes when I talk too much, it gets a little bit sore because I'm used to more dialogues, I guess you could say. And when I'm not hanging out with one of my friends, then I'm used to whatchamacallit. I'm used to doing a lot of nodding, so this is a bit of a stretch outside my comfort zone. But speaking of comfort zone, I think I'm going to have to wrap it up here because my family's just got back and I don't want to bother them with if my voice is too loud. So do you guys have any last like goodbyes or things you want to say before I wrap it up? Yeah, thank you for joining us, Zoe. I almost thought you wouldn't because I thought you'd have to go to school. See you later, Furim. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Jevil, I hope you have a blast playing Deltarune 2. And Adam, thanks again for dropping by. It's so great that you guys are like my regulars. That is one way of looking at it, Zoe. That is true. I did get very similar vibes. Alrighty then, guys. Well, until the next time, keep the faith, stay epic, and God bless. Bye.